All right, welcome everyone. What episode is this, Aidan?
Oh man, you're quizzing me.
This is
Episode
this is like episode 7, right?
8?
8?
I don't know.
Okay, well, some episode between 5 and 10 of the Natty
You can
Talk
put it up
podcast.
on the screen.
Yeah, we'll put it up on the screen. I mean, it'll be in the title, so you guys know what episode this is. Very important information
That's
before
true.
we get into this. Yeah, long time no see, man. How you been doing? I feel like I haven't
Been
spoken
good.
to you like in forever. I mean, not like this at least.
Yeah, no, I mean, last time we spoke face to face was
The last podcast?
was it the last podcast?
Probably.
I guess it was. Yeah. Yeah. So it's been a while.
Yeah,
I
so
got a job as a personal trainer at my gym, and that's been pretty fun.
yeah, awesome. So before we get into that, just real quick, do want to address that I have not uploaded in quite a while, a couple months, but I'm back at it now. I had some stuff going on in my life that I had to take care of. Don't really want to get into the details here on YouTube, but yeah, things are looking better now, and hope to get back on YouTube, get back on that grind, getting you guys all this content, and kicking up the Natty Talk podcast again with my boy Aidan here. So,
True.
yeah, episode 1 of the comeback of Natty Talk podcast. And Aidan's got some juicy news to give us of his new job, the dream job of every gym bro.
Yeah. So I basically get paid to hang out with people while they lift. No, but I mean, I'm getting them on the right exercises, the right program and stuff. So basically, I mean, not that my gains have stopped, but I'm getting to like live. Is it vicariously? Is that the word?
Yeah.
Like through all these like new lifters and seeing them PR, like they PR like every session pretty much, and with good form, of course. I'm not letting them ego lift or anything like that. So just seeing all of their progress, it's like a whole other basket of fun, you know.
Yeah.
And
So are you that guy who just plays on your phone the entire time and like doesn't even look at the guy who's training?
no, I mean, yeah. So I'm up to 5 clients right now. 4 of them are, 3 of them are women, 2 of them are men, and yeah, it's cool, man. It's fun.
Nice. So like what sort of
Goes by
ages are
fast.
they? Are they like older?
My youngest 30-year-old woman is my youngest,
Mhm.
and my oldest is an 80-year-old man.
Oh my God, 80 years old.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's only had 2 sessions so far, but he's also PR'd from his first session to his second one.
Wow. So
So
is he like, I mean, obviously you don't need to give out any personal info or whatever, but like, is he like
yeah.
a 80-year-old who's in pretty good shape, or like, what are we talking?
I mean, he's got a good base. He's super tall. He's a really cool dude. So just yeah, we're just gonna see what we can do. You know, I mean, I think mainly he just wants to strengthen himself up so that he's a little more resilient, and you know, he's not obviously trying to get in like bodybuilder shape or anything like that. But
Of course.
you know, yeah, the look on his face when he's doing it is good. He's enjoying it. So
Yeah.
that's another main thing. You know what I mean? So
I wonder what sort of like ancient wisdom this man can like impart on you.
a lot. I mean, when I train him, I like ask him about his younger days and stuff, and we talk about it. It's pretty cool.
Talks about
He
what
told
it
me he
was
bought
like
a
back
car.
before the war.
Yeah, he bought a car. I think in the '60s or something. He worked. He was like 17 or 16 or something. He bought a car for like $400 or something. Like,
Yeah, nice.
so it was just funny to hear that. Like a car, like a nice new car was $400.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe it was the '50s. I'm not sure.
Yeah, different time, eh? There was this one picture I've seen several times from like the Great Depression, I think, like the 30s, where there was this dude like trying to sell like this brand new like super luxury car on the street, and he was like, I lost it all on the stock market, and it has like a sign, it's like selling it for like $50 or something. I don't remember the exact number, but it was like this beautiful, like, you know, what you'd now call like a vintage car or whatever, but you know, this
Yeah.
like beautiful, like super luxury car is like $50, please, someone take it.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. So you're enjoying the new job then, yeah?
Yeah, it's good.
And are you still training or like looking to possibly train people online?
yeah, if anyone hits up my email, that's still open, nsuatraining@gmail.com.
Yeah, so if you want to look like this guy, give us a flex, Aidan. If you want to look
I don't
like
know if
this
I'm in the
guy,
way.
you know who to hit up for that personal training. So yeah, awesome. Yeah, I also just wanted to say how cool it was to come back after like 3 months of literally not logging into YouTube and finding like 30,000 more subscribers on my channel. So that was really
Was it that many?
Yeah, I went from like
Wow.
160 to like 130,000, 190,000 subscribers. And I mean, I
Yeah,
was like so
200.
gone that I literally like didn't even log into YouTube at all. So I had no idea. Like I thought I was gonna come back and I would have like, you know, people would be like unsubscribed, like screw this guy, you know. But no,
Yeah.
it was pretty cool to come back and see that the channel actually grew. So, you know, welcome everyone. I don't know if any of you like trickled onto the second channel and are
I'm sure
catching
some
this
people did.
podcast now. But yeah, that was really cool to see. So really excited to get back on the grind. We got a lot of cool video ideas. So coming up in the next weeks and months, look out for it, guys. The old school bodybuilding videos, they're gonna come in hot. Another thing I missed while I was away, our boy Gregory, he made
Gave you a shout out.
yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
I mean, maybe he's coming around, bro. Maybe he's like, yeah, I'm sick of this roid stuff. Let me hop on the Natty bandwagon.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I felt pretty bad about myself like watching that video because we've spent so much time like dogging on Greg Doucette.
Yeah, but I mean, it's nothing personal. It's like we're not saying he's a bad. Like I don't think I've ever said he's a bad person.
Yeah.
It's just he's said some silly stuff. I've said silly shit in the past. You know, if someone points it out, it is what it is. But you know, it's like at the end of the day, I don't feel like we have beef with him, and I don't think he would want beef. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't think we have beef. I just felt a bit bad that like anytime I talk about Greg Doucette, it was like in a negative context, like both on this podcast and like on my channel.
I guess you did it more than me, so I didn't really like feel that as much. I can see because you did like full on videos and stuff. So
yeah, I mean, you know, I disagree with him on the main gaining and all that crap, but you know,
I think everybody should point that out. Like that's not being mean to him. It's like it's just main gaining is stupid. That's all.
Main gaining and the supplements, but you know, all that being said, he was very nice with the video he made about me, and he had nothing but positive things to say. So
I wonder how many subs you got from that.
To be honest,
I mean, think about how crazy that is. Greg Doucette told his subscribers to go subscribe to you.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, I mean, I think the video that he was making a reaction to, like my video, had like, I don't know, like 10 times or 20 times more views than the video that he ended up making. So it probably didn't have as big of an impact as, you know, my actual video did.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously,
hurt,
thank you, Greg. That's very nice of you to give me a shout out. No beef, no beef. One love, you know. I felt a little bit bad about all the stuff we've said about Greg Doucette. So yeah, I have nothing against you personally, man. We just don't like main gaining, and we don't like supplements that don't do anything. But yeah, but thank you for talking about me on your channel, bro. The day after we upload this, there's a new Greg Doucette video reacting to this section of the podcast. No.
I'm not even going to do the Greg Doucette impression again.
Yeah, all right. So I wanted to ask you, Aidan, what you thought of the seemingly ever-increasing number of influencers dying young from steroid abuse. We've had one just recently.
Joe
Linder, yeah. R.I.P.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just sad because obviously, like, you know, I watch a lot of these guys, you know, just because I like them. I think they're entertaining, cool people. So it just kind of sucks, you know, always having that in the back of your head, like, man, this guy whose content I enjoy could just drop dead, you know. And that's how I felt when Rich Piana died. You know, I was pretty sad about that. Um, you know, like if something happened to Larry Wheels, I would be very sad about that, you know? So it's like these guys that I've like taken inspiration from in one way or another, not in the roid sense, because, you know, you don't have to take everything from someone, you know, you don't have to be, someone doesn't have to be like perfect in every regard for you to like extract something from them, right? Like a lot of my lifting in like the beginning was like Pete Rubish, Larry Wheels, Rich Piana, like just all those guys, you know. And obviously that was back when Pete was geared out of his mind. But you know, that's just what I liked watching. That's what I felt like got me motivated and stuff. Now I watch mostly natty people, but
do you think
yeah,
back in the
I don't
day,
know.
if those guys were natty back in the day, that you would have still watched them, or that they would have had the audience that they had?
Well, I think yeah, if they because there's natty guy like SSJ Bob. I don't know if you know who he is, but
No.
he's probably my favorite lifter right now. He's natural. He's a power lifter. He squats like 804 at like 230 something, which
Wow.
is mind boggling. He still has visible abs.
Crazy.
He deadlifts like like high eights. I don't even know. Benches like 520, something like that. Um, he's natural. I mean, I believe it too. Like he doesn't look like he's taking trend and stuff. Like you can kind of tell when someone's taking stuff. So, I mean, those people probably would have been not as strong, but they probably would have still had like a similar way of going about things. And I feel like if they showed their personality the same way, like I probably would have still liked them. Like Larry Wheels, whether he got on gear or not, was going to be like one of the best lifters ever. He would have been probably like how Bob is, you know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have looked as crazy, but still would have been insanely strong. Like deadlifting 700 for reps, like that probably would have still happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of like them dying young and stuff, though, I mean, I can't say much other than it's just it sucks, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it really
Like,
sucks, man.
it's,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, it's not like about Joe Linder here. You know, just he's the most recent example, so you know that's what we brought up. But it just happens over and over
I heard,
and over again. You know.
yeah, I don't know like the exact specifics on like whether his death was steroid related. Obviously, like most, you know, signs would point to that, but like he had an aneurysm, and I heard that that's more of a genetic thing, but who knows?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, R.I.P. in any case. Like he seemed like a really genuinely good guy. I mean, I
He's a
wasn't
cool
like
guy.
a super fan of his or anything, but just from the clips I've seen, you know, he seemed like a genuinely like good-hearted guy. You know. So
Yeah.
it's just so sad to see him and many others like dying in their 20s and their 30s and 40s and whatever. It's just, it's not right, you know. And you know, even if it wasn't directly the steroids that did it, it definitely didn't help, you know.
It didn't help.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and I just feel like it sends you down this like spiral or like this you know feedback loop or whatever where you know you have all these influencers that are on it and then they're influencing you know more people to get on it and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Like I feel like it's a problem that's not like trending in the better direction. It's just going to keep getting worse. Like 5 years from now, you know, maybe now it's like every month this happens and, you know, 5 years from now it might be every week or every day or something. And
Yeah.
yeah, I just don't know like what the solution is. I don't
The
see like,
solution, I think, sorry to interrupt you.
no, go ahead.
Um, there just needs to be more impressive natural people. Like people just want to watch what's impressive. Like they don't give a fuck if it's like roids or not roids. The majority of people, like they see Dwayne Johnson, they go crazy, you know. But like, there's a rise of like natty people that are extremely impressive. You know,
Yeah.
at least in the strength world. Maybe not as much with bodybuilding, but it is starting to happen too with bodybuilding. We just need as much of that as we can get, so that like people can realize, okay, that person did it naturally. Maybe I can do it naturally too. Maybe not, but at least there's a chance, you know.
Yeah.
With the roids, it's like if they see enough of that, they just think, oh, to look like that, I have to get on, and then
Yeah.
you know what I mean. If we can get enough impressive natty examples, I think people will be less inclined to go down that path. But at the same time, I don't know. The steroid stuff is more extravagant.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I think, I mean, you know, we've got this whole noble natty movement starting now, and even though it's not mainstream, I mean, I'm sure it's helped to, you know, change the minds of a lot of people and steer people down the right path. I mean, you see someone like GVS and, you know, Alpha Destiny. I mean, how insanely freakish he looked on stage just recently. You know, you see these people and you think, like, how could you possibly need any more than that to be satisfied with your physique, right? Or, you know, people like yourself and whatever, Bald Omni-Man, all these guys, you know, they set awesome examples.
Bald Omni-Man is looking freaky lately, man. Like,
yeah.
I just commented on one of his posts like an hour ago. I think he's like 200 pounds now, and like his upper body still looks lean.
Yeah.
So I want to be like that, bro. Like,
yeah.
I got 13 pounds to go. I don't think I'm going to suddenly get fat, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of like inspiration. Like, I have enough inspiration from natural people at this point that like I don't feel tempted to take steroids at all. Not that I have like in recent years, but especially now I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah. And you know what, like touching on the whole like steroid narrative on YouTube, I mean, okay, I know we were just talking about Greg Doucette, but just to bring him up again real quick, I think he is like, you gotta give him credit where credit is due. He is one of the guys that has had the most consistent anti-PED message on YouTube. I think so. And even though sometimes it's maybe a bit muddied and sometimes it gets confused and whatever, I do think having just recently like caught up with some of his videos, like whenever he gets the chance to talk about steroids, it's always like, guys, don't do this, it's not worth it. Like, you know, you're gonna run into issues, it's not worth it, don't do it, you know, choose the healthy option, whatever. Like, he's very consistently giving out that message any chance he gets. So
Yeah.
you know, I think that's that's kind of a lead that more fitness influencers need to take on, even if he does do steroids himself, and you know, even if most of them still do steroids, it would be nice to at least get that kind of shift where most of them are just, you know, consistently putting out this message to, you know, try to influence their audience not to get on this stuff. But it is a bit concerning that it seems like the naturals will never be sort of at the top of, you know, the mainstream of YouTube fitness. It's always going to be the enhanced guys. So they're always going to have the top platform. I just hope they at least use it to discourage people from following in their own footsteps, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a few natty people here and there that'll like weasel their way towards the top. But it's going to be like the most genetically gifted, the most disciplined, like they live in the gym naturals. You know, it's not going to be like a normal natural guy, right? That'll never happen. But some of the most elite guys, like, I mean, they're putting up better numbers than the steroid users, you know. So I was going to say too, Cali Muscle is now like very pro natty.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I think he's still like on TRT though, isn't he? I don't
know,
like,
man.
actually natty.
He weighs like 190 now.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just freaking natty. I don't know. I mean, obviously it's not like the same natty as like an actual natty, but like, you know, I'd rather see that than like he just keeps doing roids and, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
dies.
he already like almost died, right? He had a heart attack.
And yeah, that he got the wake up call, you know. I'm happy that he got off, but
yeah, I mean, it seems like he got the second chance that, you know, a lot of people don't get, right? You get the scare and you get the chance to fix your shit and stop doing that, and, you know, maybe add a couple decades onto your life rather than just you know, throwing it all away. And a lot of people don't get that chance. You know, they don't get the warning signs, they just fucking drop and they're done. And so yeah, I mean, yeah, all I can say is that I hope more people start fucking aggressively pushing this message, this sort of anti-drug message, because it's just so sad to see all of these people dying young, and I just think social media makes it all so much worse. Because if we weren't
Oh
all
yeah,
like looking at these juiced up guys on fucking YouTube
bro. I
and
don't even
Instagram,
keep Instagram on my phone. Like
yeah,
if I watch juiced up guys, I just go into it, you know. Like, okay, I'm watching this to watch the person, not to compare my physique to them, because that is
yeah,
literally pointless. You
yeah,
know, like I'm never gonna be 240 lean. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
But you know, you're
I'll
saying
be lucky
that,
to be 205 semi lean,
yeah,
and that's pushing it
yeah.
for me.
Yeah. No, but I mean, you're saying that with, you know, the 10 years of wisdom that you have and the physique that you've built already and, you know, the confidence that you have with that. But, you know, just thinking of all these people starting out where, you know, they weigh like 150 pounds and they've got no muscle and they're just looking on TikTok and they're seeing all these people, you know, make these insane transformations in 6 months or whatever. And they're like, you know what? Where do I buy these SARMs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's sad. I hope it changes. I'm not particularly hopeful about it, but at least the platform I have, I'm gonna try my best to, you know, as many people as I can nudge in the right direction. Because yeah, it's just insanely sad to me that this just keeps happening, you know, and to good people, so people who don't deserve it.
Yeah.
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 Well, continuing on the natty or not natty train, what do you think of Alex Eubank?
Do I think he's natty?
Well, have you seen that there's
Has
this
something
whole
happened?
um well, okay, I'm not like super into the topic, but apparently he left a comment on a video like 3 years ago saying if I use like this and this, like listed off like 3 or 4 SARMs, and he's like, if I
Hmm.
use all of these, what's gonna happen? And like he left this comment on like a YouTube video like 3 years ago.
I
Uh,
don't think uh, I don't think that necessarily means anything because I used to look at SARM's videos and stuff.
yeah, no,
Um,
absolutely. I mean, it's definitely not proof of anything, but also he had
yeah,
like some heart issues, and I don't know, like there's
totally
just
did.
I'm just talking about it because it's like a hot topic right now, and there seems to be a lot of like controversy around him. So I don't know,
Hmm.
just what do you think, natty or not natty?
Um, I don't know, man. I mean, he's like so. I would just say natty.
Yeah,
Like I've seen guys that are more shredded than him that are like around the same weight, you know, proportionately like with their height. He's got good genetics for like staying lean like that, you know. It's probably harder for him to like get actually big and like very strong. So he just sticks with the lean thing. Um, I think he's bulking now. That's the only thing I've heard. So good for him there. But yeah, just by looking at his physique and all that, it's like very aesthetic insertions, small waist. You can't like roid yourself to a small waist. You know what I mean? So
true.
nothing he has, in my opinion, looks like it's a byproduct of steroids. It's just like good insertions. He gained like 3 years of gains or however long he's been lifting. Um, Nothing looks like freakish. It just looks nice, you know. So
Yeah.
I would say natty, and wouldn't bet my left nut or anything, but just in the same way that I think David Laid is natty. He's just like
Oh, really?
190, 6'3". Maybe at some point he took something, but right now he's definitely natty.
What
So
about
that's
what about his strength gains where he was deadlifting like just
he was on a
ridiculous
deadlift
numbers?
bar. He has really good leverages. He had his legs all the way out to the side of the plates, and then even then he pulled like 675, which that's good. But like, how much did he pull conventional on a stiff bar at that time? Probably maybe like 520. I mean,
Yeah, but I
I
mean,
don't think I've ever seen
he
him
was like a
pull like
teenager, no? Like with barely any
no. He
training.
was like 20 when he pulled 675. He was like 22.
All right, all right. Well,
At
someone clip
17,
this.
he pulled 545 sumo at 17, but like a lot of people do that.
Yeah,
That's nothing. That's nothing like groundbreaking. It's great, but it's not like you know what I mean.
you heard it here first, folks. David Laid confirmed
Yeah, I
natural.
mean, I would say if he's not natty, I would say that there's going to be plenty of people, and there is plenty of people that get those type of gains naturally. So it's not to say that like he is definitely natural, but like he could have gotten that naturally. And I think his buddies both went the roided route, but they're open about it. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I agree with you on that one. I'm not going to sign off on the David Laid being natural, but
That's totally fine.
we could agree to disagree.
I think I think and I can explain away his bench too if you want.
Sure.
His 380 bench, and everyone was like, "Oh, he gained 50 pounds on his bench." Well, he started benching on like a normal skinny bench, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then he benched. I'm pretty sure he had a different type of specialty bar for that PR, and he had a fat pad, which a fat pad does a lot. You can ask like any power lifter, like it adds like 30 pounds to your bench.
What's a fat pad?
Fat pad is like a ridiculously thick, wide platform for bench.
Oh, that you put on the
like
bench?
It's just like the benches are like that.
Oh, I see. Okay. It's like
I'm not exactly
bench.
sure how much it adds, but like from what I've heard from people, like that makes a difference.
Okay.
So he did that. He like bulked really fast leading up to that. So it's like if I go like as lean as possible, right? I get down to like 170. My max on bench is maybe like 290, right? And then if I quickly over a few months bulk up to like 190 something, go on a fat pad, I could probably hit like 360.
Yeah.
So, and he had already been training for a while at that point too. I don't know.
Fair. Yeah, I don't know. I just think you got these a lot of these Zoomers that have make all their money by showing off their physique. You know, it's not really that they're providing.
GVS though.
Sorry.
GVS makes money showing off his physique. Like if he didn't look the way he looks, no one would listen to him.
Yes, but also I would say like the sort of video that GVS makes is a lot more like the video is about the information. Like yes, he does get more views because of how he looks, and he also gets a lot less views because of how bad his thumbnails are. But sorry, GVS. But I think principally his videos are informational and have good information, whereas people like David Laid and Alex Eubank and these guys, they do really just make like vlogs and like look at how pretty I am and watch me lift and stuff and watch me go about my day or whatever, which is fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that kind of video, but I'm just saying that is like so much more dependent on the way your body looks, right, than the kind of like informational video. So
I agree.
I don't know. I just think these kids that well, not to like belittle them by calling them kids, but like these. I was
about to say David is like a year younger than us.
Yeah,
he's not that young.
These whippersnappers over here.
Yeah.
No, but like
he's pretty much our age.
Yeah, no, but just these guys who make all their money just by showing off their bodies. Like it's not a shocker to me if I were to find out that they're like on something, on SARMs or whatever. Same with like this whole Alex Eubank thing. Everyone's like, is he natty? Is he not natty? I mean, I don't know, but like he's a guy who makes all his money by like, showing clips of him posing on the internet. So like, would you be surprised that he's not natty? Like,
I would. Personally, he would be a lot bigger if he wasn't.
Yeah.
If he's not natty and he's like that big, I would be like, what is he doing wrong? You know what I mean? Like, he weighs 70, like when he's lean.
Yeah, I mean, definitely there's something to say that the guy just has really good like insertions for aesthetics, right? Like even if he's not that big, he looks really aesthetic.
Looks bigger than what he weighs.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, okay, so you heard it here first, folks. Alex Eubank confirmed natty. David Laid confirmed natty.
Not confirmed.
With the Aidan into a seal of approval. You can take it to the bank.
That's guys. That's like my, I'm pretty sure, but like, obviously if I'm wrong, I'm not going to like be upset, It is what it is.
Yeah. What do you think about more and more YouTubers becoming bodybuilders, or not necessarily becoming bodybuilders, but like doing bodybuilding? We had
who is this in reference to, you think?
Have you seen Alan Thrall?
Alan Thrall, yeah. I used to watch him back in my powerlifting only days.
Yeah, so you know how he's like a powerlifter, he has like a strength gym and everything.
Yeah, Untamed Strength.
Yeah, and you've seen now that he's like started to do bodybuilding. I don't know if you've seen like his recent videos, but
Yeah, I saw a video where he was saying something about like he watches natural hypertrophy, and I just thought it was funny to see him like coming into this community now. But
yeah.
He's into a lot of stuff though, man. He's into like jogging, like a lot of volume on his running and stuff. I don't know if he's gonna compete in bodybuilding. Did you say that?
No, I don't know if he's gonna compete, but he's definitely like seems to be embracing
like bodybuilding
more
training.
Bodybuilding training. Yeah, and he's made a couple videos like talking about how in the past he thought like bodybuilding was stupid and how like real people trained like squat, bench, and deadlift. And now he's like embracing more of the bodybuilding training. And I was also just thinking of like Alex, Alex Leonidas also was much more strength focused, and now has actually competed in bodybuilding. And I'm sure there's a couple other examples. It seems like bodybuilding, I don't know, it's making a little bit of a comeback on the YouTube.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, I like seeing that. I like seeing people show interest in what we got going over here.
I wonder if I'll ever have like a powerlifting arc where I like ditch the bodybuilding
Honestly,
and just try
man,
to get
like,
as strong as possible.
I think it can teach you some things, like the intensity you need to like gain strength week by week and stuff like that. It's different from like going in and just like hitting PRs on like tricep pushdowns. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It feels so amazing when your squat is like exploding.
Say no more.
I'm about to feel that again, by the way.
Starting strength tomorrow.
Yeah, no, not that. But I mean, just in general, like pushing those lifts, like squat, bench, deadlift. It's just fun, man. Like having those a little bit higher up on the priority. But I actually stopped benching recently.
Oh yeah.
So now I only I start my chest and back day with AD press, just because I'm apparently like freakish at it compared to my other stuff.
Yeah, I've seen you put up some insane numbers on the AD press.
Yeah, I got 250 with a pause on like my 4th session doing it, and then after that I got 225 for 5 paused. And Alex said himself that pause is 10% harder. I don't necessarily feel that. I feel like it's like the same or easier for me, but I want to see him hit 225 for 5 pause, so then I have like a little fire under my ass to like get like 235 for 5 or something.
Yeah.
But
just for people who might not know, can you just quickly say like what the AD press is?
So basically, it's shoulder press, but like I think it's 1 click back on the seat, so it's not like perfectly vertical. It's like a little bit tilted. So some people will be smart asses and be like, "Oh, is that an incline bench?" Like, yeah, bro, it's an incline bench. I'm sitting like this. It's an incline bench. But you sit like this, you go like that. I mean, it's just a shoulder press with a slight angle with the barbell. And I like to pause all my reps just because it feels better. But
so it's like a seated OHP with back support.
Seated OHP with back support, yep. And then just 1 click back. Feels way better on your shoulders than if you were locked into like a vertical or almost completely vertical position. I think it's a game changer. I'm like, I wish I discovered it sooner.
Yeah.
Even just like the AD press angle on like seated dumbbell OHP. I wish I discovered that sooner. But
yeah, I've tried it a couple times, maybe like 3 times, and every time it just felt horrible. Like felt
really?
Just like painful in my shoulders and stuff. Every time I tried the AD press, even with like baby weights and stuff, just I don't know why, just very odd.
Maybe if you have videos, I can like look at it, because maybe there's something I would see that.
Yeah, it does seem like a really cool exercise, so I would actually like to do it, but every time I've tried, it's just been a total fail. Whereas just like the normal standing OHP like feels great for me. Good. So
weird. I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
Standing OHP, like my back starts to feel weird, because you kind of like lean back.
Yeah.
And like there's no limit to how much you can lean back, so you could potentially lean back more on certain reps. I like the AD press. It kind of like locks you in one position. Like if you're digging back into that with like a little bit of an arch, like you're not moving from there once you're there.
So you are stronger on the AD press than on the like standing OHP, right? Like quite a bit. Yeah. By
a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I can rep 225 paused on AD press. I could not get 225 for 1 standing.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, maybe I should give it another try. Yeah, I'll give it another try. I'll send you a video.
I think the pausing helps you stay in the groove better because you're really controlling it on the way down because you know it's not going to bounce right back up. Like you're going to hold it there for a second, right? So everything, like you're keeping it in a better plane. That's what I noticed. When I would do touch and go, I would misgroove a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why pausing was easier because I was misgrooving all my touch and go reps. But yeah, pause feels really good for that.
Yeah.
And then the not benching thing, if you want me to touch on that.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
It's mainly because I just want to like focus on AD press because it's just fun as shit. And I just like doing things that are fun as shit, right? So all I'm doing for chest now is I do this like dip variation where it's like very lean forward. And I hated dips up until now. Now I realize that's like one of the only things that actually activates my chest. Can you see that?
Yeah.
But like anytime I would bench, like I would get all the way to the lockout and it's like, okay, my delts are firing, my triceps are firing. My chest would just like sometimes not even feel like it's flexed. Mm-hmm. So I realized like super recently, so don't like, you know, don't take this too seriously, but
it only took him 10 years, guys.
Only took me 10 years. Yeah, I'll admit it. You know, I was just like blind because I was like bench, bench, bench. I love bench, but I loved bench because I had strong shoulders and triceps.
Yeah. The
chest was not doing shit for me on bench. So I got to go back to the drawing board on bench once I grow my chest from all this other stuff. So I'm doing dips, pec deck, and like the high cable flies.
Yeah.
Doing that for like 2 or 3 weeks, I already feel a difference. Like my chest actually gets sore. It feels pumped throughout the day for no reason. Well, there's a reason, but before it was like, dude, I would bench. Yeah, I would bench, bro, and like I would have pumped delts, pumped triceps, and then just my chest would be completely flat.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? I never really thought about it enough. So
yeah, no, that kind of resonates with me as well. The exercise where I feel my chest the most is 100% the flies. You know, I like doing the dumbbell flies, and every single time, no matter how many times in a row I do them, the dumbbell flies, I will always get sore from those. Like the next day, just crazy sore in the chest, and just get absolutely insane pumps in my chest from the dumbbell flies. And that pretty much never happens with the bench press. I mean, I think I've maybe gotten sore in my chest like twice ever from benching, whereas dumbbell flies like every single time. And I think definitely like my chest has gotten wide and wider from doing that. Whereas the bench, as you say, I think I use more like triceps and maybe delts and stuff, and that I can feel a lot, and I do get sore like in my delts from benching, but never my chest. So yeah,
I've heard that's just how it is when you bench with like maximal force. Like it's more of a delt tricep movement. Mm-hmm. So if we go back to bench, like we need to like specifically focus on using our chest. You know, it's like you can pull down and you can kind of just like flex your bicep to pull it down, or you can like kind of disconnect from your arms in a sense and then squeeze your back to pull it down.
Yeah, it's easy to pull with your arms and stuff.
And I think the big issue with bench is we all just want to be strong as shit on bench. So we go in and we're like, I'm not trying to grow my chest with this. I'm trying to like move weight with this, right? And I figure like with AD press, even if I do it as intense as possible and don't think that much, like it's working the muscles it's supposed to work. It's probably working a tiny bit of upper chest and then like delts and triceps, right? So it's working all of that and I don't have to think about it. With bench, it's like if I go in, I'm like angry and I want to bench super heavy, I'm not even working my chest anymore because I have to like actually think about it, you know?
Yeah.
So
well, you're getting me excited about the AD press now. I think I'm gonna give it another try. I'll send you a video.
It's
you
so
tell me
fun,
what I'm
dude.
doing wrong.
I'm trying to like get as many people as I can on it because I feel like some people might have like sleeper strength on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So definitely a lot more carryover there from just the normal OHP, right? Than like from the bench.
What do you mean?
Well, like if you're really good at OHP, you'll probably be really good at AD press.
I don't.
Or you think
I don't think so because standing OHP has like so many limiting factors that like my standing OHP max is probably like 60 pounds below my AD press max.
Yeah,
like give or take. right?
Yeah, I guess there's
And
a lot
then
of like bracing and stuff.
yeah, and it doesn't exactly factor with bench either because I can AD press more than Alex, and Alex is like a 405 bencher.
Yeah.
And I've never even benched more than like 340.
So you just have like freakish AD pressing strength that you just.
Or everyone else's AD press is weak. I don't know. I would like to think that they're strong because they're fucking strong, and then I would like to think that I have like a slight talent for it, and maybe if I keep going with it, I can. My goal is to press 275 with a pause within a few months. I think that's possible because I think I already have 260 in me right now, and I'm not even bulky yet.
Bro, imagine you like specialize in the AD press. You gotta be like pressing 3 plates or something.
That's my long-term goal. My long-term goal is to at some point AD press 315 at like 205, 210, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, that
we'll see if that happens. I got some people that think it's possible, so I'm just rolling with that. You know, if I can't get it, I can't get it. Whatever, but I'm gonna try. Like bench, I'm gonna sideline going really heavy on bench until I hit those goals. So
interesting. And I'll be curious to see if you like do really a phase where you're going hard on the AD press, if then you go back to the bench and you'll suddenly be stronger there for whatever reason.
Who knows? Yeah, I mean, I would love that, bro. Like if I can AD press 275 for a couple in like 3 months, let's say, like I would probably be able to bench it for like 10. I mean, if I can't, what even? I don't know. I think the thing is with my bench, it was really just my chest was always the limiting factor, and I think I just need to grow my chest as much as I can, and then obviously having stronger delts is not going to hurt either. So I think when I bench again, once I get used to it, which will probably be like towards the end of the year, I don't really feel like benching. You know, I would love to hit 315 for like 5. You know, I should be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. Who's that guy who's like super obese and does the OHP with like 4 plates or something?
Dude, so that's outdated. He actually can OHP 5 plates.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So a year ago when I first saw him, like he followed me back and I was like, holy crap, this giant, strong dude follows me back. This is really cool. He has since unfollowed me. Maybe he'll follow me again.
Oh, no. How come?
Because I'm trying to be like him. You know,
oh, really?
Like a smaller version. Yeah. Because I don't know. I just love seeing people like push the limits like that. You know, obviously being that big, you know, comes with its health risks and stuff. But it's like with anything, bro. Like with IFBB pros, like they're dedicating their stuff to something, right? As long as they're not telling everyone else to copy them, I don't have too much of an issue with it, right? So Andrew's the same way. Like some people, they see him press 515 overhead, and then they're like, oh, but you're fat. Oh, you're gonna die. Blah blah blah. And it's like,
can you just tell people how to find this guy quickly? So if people
Andrew Richard.
Andrew Richard. Okay.
Yeah, look him up on. I think it's like Andrew Richard 93 or something. I could be wrong, but just look up Andrew Richard overhead press. It's like the most insane stuff ever. Like very cleanly overhead pressing 500 for like a speed rep. I mean, it's just.
And is that like his thing? Like he wants to like just be the overhead press guy?
Overhead press guy, yeah.
And he's
he's strong on other stuff too. Like, you know, he can squat a lot and he can bench a decent amount. But honestly, you would expect him to be able to bench a lot more from what his overhead press is. I think he's also just like extremely strong on the overhead press.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what his seated overhead press is. It's probably like 550.
Yeah, so I wonder what he would AD press.
Dude, if he AD pressed, like, he could probably AD press my deadlift PR. So,
yeah,
I'm not even joking, bro.
But, like, how much does he weigh? Do you know?
I think he weighs over 405.
Yeah, my God.
So, he weighs more than, like, Alex's bench press.
Yeah, he's, like, almost like a Kyriakos level bloat.
I think he's more impressive, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he still has, like, a nice, like, shape to him, you know? Like, he has a good amount of muscle. He's
a shapely 405.
He's a shapely 405 at 5'9".
Oh my God.
It's mind blowing, man. Like, I just hope he stays healthy to the extent where.
Well, I think that ship has sailed, but you know.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, I want him to be able to reach his goals, and then, you know, whenever he needs to dial back, maybe he can dial back in time. But it is one of those things where it's like, you know, how much longer can he stay that size and still hang around? I don't want to think about that, honestly.
Yeah. Is he natty, or do we know, or does he not talk about it?
He's natty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the guy's freaking massive. Usually the only people you see weighing sort of 405 are like these, you know, professional strongmen that are like 7 foot tall and on gear and whatever. So for him to be like 5'9" and natty and 405 and be overhead pressing 4 plates. Yeah, that's pretty insane. So he's overhead pressing his body weight, right?
Oh, way over his body weight.
Oh, because he's
like nearly 100 pounds over his body weight.
Yeah.
And honestly, the body weight thing, like that's another cope that people have when they watch him. They go, "Oh, you overhead pressed your body weight." It's like, bro, even if I was overhead pressing 100 pounds over my body weight, that would be impressive, right? That would be like 285, 290, whatever. But being 405 and then overhead pressing 100 pounds over your body weight, that's
insane.
Ridiculous. Like that is way more impressive, if anything.
Yeah,
like a guy who weighs 135 overhead pressing 185, that's cool, but that's nothing compared to what he's doing. So
yeah, no, absolutely.
People try to cope like that. It's just like don't take that from him, because like that's his thing.
That's his
and
thing,
he's extremely good at it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You know?
Well, you know, respect for someone, you know, giving it everything he's got just to get that OHP number.
He is sacrificing everything for one goal. You know, sometimes it's cool to see stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Does he have a goal, like he wants to get to 600 or something, or just as much as possible?
A lot of people think that he will get to 600, which that blows my mind, because he's already blowing my, like he blew my mind when he overhead pressed like 465.
Yeah.
I was already like, wow, that's the craziest thing ever. There's some guy named like Iron Bibby or something. I think he's like seated pressed 560, 550, something like that.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone knows. But they're saying that like he's gonna pass him, and it's gonna be like a rivalry and stuff. So
interesting.
But you know,
though, if he is
doing all of this standard, I don't know what Bibby's standing PR is. So
right.
I think they're probably already pretty close.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if he is natty, imagine how much he could OHP if he wasn't natty, dude. It'd be crazy.
He does say like disclaimers sometimes. He's like, "Oh, I'm natty so far." He's never said that he'll never take anything.
Yeah.
He's just, I guess he hasn't needed it yet.
Yeah.
I believe it, man. I mean, there's natural powerlifters that progress at a similar rate. They're just progressing on different lifts, you know. Like he's like a power lifter for just OHP.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, are there even OHP competitions or something? Because, I mean, I guess he could clean up, but that's probably not even a thing, right?
I'm not sure.
Probably not where you could, like, go make money or anything like that.
No, not anything like that. But, I mean, there should be, like, at least a sanctioning body that can, like, confirm some records. Because, you know, it's a lift that matters. But I guess the thing is, like, oh, how far can you lean back? You know, people like tend to hurt themselves because they just lean back as far as they can. This dude's not leaning back that far either. Like it looks pretty still. So
yeah, I need to hop on this guy's channel or
I'll
whatever.
show you.
Check him out.
Yeah, I'll show you. It's fucking
I remember seeing like just one clip a long time ago, but I haven't
and that was 100 pounds less.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I mean, I can't even OHP my body weight, so you know, to think about
I can
OHP,
barely do that.
100 pounds more is just insane, and to think about doing it at that body weight, it's just absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, good for him, but you know, as you say, hope he at least tries to have a little consideration for his health, because yeah, I mean, it is a shame. But you know,
I don't think he's trying to get too much bigger than he already is, at least. I mean, how much bigger can you get? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he'll ever weigh 500 pounds. I don't know if that's something he's trying to do or not, but
yeah,
I don't think most human bodies can handle that for too long.
Yeah. Do you know how
old he could be
is?
built different. I think he's probably 30.
Oh, okay.
If I had to guess, I don't exactly know. 30 something, 31.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, he's pretty young. He was strong when he was a lean kid too. Like he was curling 60s when he was like 17.
Wow.
So he's got good genetics and stuff too. Like on top of all of that obsessive hard work, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, let's face it, 99.9% percent of people go up to 400 pounds and do their, you know, several years of OHP specialization, they're not going to be OHPing, you know, 500 pounds. So,
no.
Yeah, that's obviously the guy's got to be built different to a certain extent. But yeah, that's cool to see. Have you seen that? I don't know what the correct term is. You know, like the little people. What's the, like you know, like a person who's like a dwarf.
Like how much they lift?
I'm just talking about, like, there was this weightlifter, old school weightlifter from like the 50s, I think, and he was like one of these like really short people, and he, like, when he would put his arms up, like his arms fully extended were like this height. They were like just barely above his head, and so yeah, so the guy had like records in the like, I think at the time was like clean and press, and so he could just, you know, even though he was so little and whatever, he could just press insane weights because all he had to do was this. You know, he didn't have to like do this big movement that everyone else had to do. So
yeah, that's true, but like at the same time, he's also got to be way lighter because he's just really small.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'd say like the advantages and the disadvantages kind of like equal out. So I think it's still just as valid as anything else. You know, like if you lock your joints out.
Yeah.
Like,
no, absolutely. No, I just thought that guy was pretty interesting. It was really cool to see the photos. You know, this like little guy.
Do a video on him.
Yeah, I've pretty sure I already posted him on my community page, but I'm gonna do a video about him at some point because it is a pretty interesting little part of like lifting history that pretty much no one knows about. Like this super strong little guy. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So another thing I want to ask you about is, have you seen the video of the dude going for his squat PR and like severing his neck?
No, and that's on purpose. I don't want to see it, and I don't want to show it to anyone.
Yeah.
I've seen like the thumbnail, and I've seen what people have said about it, and for me, that's enough. I saw that. I think he didn't have safeties on the side.
No.
And from what I heard, it was like a weight that he wasn't quite ready for. But I mean, that shit's just tragic, dude. Like,
yeah, horrible.
You know, and like I just don't want to watch that. But
I mean, like, have you even ever heard of someone dying on a squat ever?
I've heard of people dying while lifting. I think I've heard of people dying from the bench, suffocating them when no one's around to get off them.
But on the squat, like I mean, not that I can remember. Like people break their legs and stuff, but like just straight up dive, that's crazy. That's
probably extremely rare.
And even like not just die from like, I don't know, a heart attack or like something like that, but like actually die from like the bar like cutting your neck. Yeah. That's just insane. And yeah, I mean, you know, like it's just so crazy. I don't even know what to say about that. But yeah, RIP to that guy.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, the thing is, he was doing it without safeties, and also the spotter. I mean, I guess
here's a hot take too. There's absolutely like nothing a back spotter can do if you're failing a squat, like failing, like you can't move it at all. Your legs have just given out. You're done. What is he gonna do? Curl 465?
No, I mean,
like you need safeties, or you need side spotters, or you need both.
Yeah.
Or you need like just every safety thing you could have, because why not, you know?
Yeah.
Especially if you're going for a PR where like you unrack it and you're shaky or whatever. That's what I heard. Like you need to be safe, you know?
I agree, but also like the guy in the video, he wasn't spotting the way you spot a squat. Like he was spotting it like this. Like he was like holding the bar with his hands, right? And,
really?
And like when you spot a squat, you got to go like under the armpits and like you know, almost like hug the guy. Right?
Yeah.
And then if he can't get up, then you're like pulling his whole thing up, right? Because obviously like this, you're never going to be able to like pull a bar up with your like hands stretched out like that. Like, you know, how much weight are you going to lift like that? Like fucking nothing.
I'll say even with the chest thing, if someone completely gives out or like, you know, God forbid, like they pass out and like they can't move at all, there's still nothing you can do with like a chest spot. So I think just in any case, you need multiple spotters, or you just need safeties. Like safeties, those safety things, if they're set up right and everything, like it's way safer. I mean, obviously things can still go wrong with that, but that's a lot safer than just having one guy who's just, you don't even freaking know the guy or whatever. But
I think on YouTube I see a lot of guys who are like purposefully squatting and benching and whatever, like with no safeties or no spotters, because it just looks better, you know? Like you'll see them like there's the perfectly usable squat rack right there with the safeties, and then they like set up the cups on the outside of the squat rack, and they're like maxing out on the outside because it, you know, it doesn't look as good for the camera to be like inside the cage versus outside the cage.
Silly. I would say if you're maxing out, like safety comes before all that other shit. If you're just like getting a video of you doing reps, you probably know when you're gonna fail.
Yeah.
You know, if you're doing like a set of 10, you know, it's not the most unsafe thing. But yeah, if you're like going for a PR, like you can't like play with fate like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, use your safeties, guys. Like, god damn, it's not worth the risk, you know? And even if something that catastrophic doesn't happen, I mean, still, you know, you can easily like tear something, hurt yourself, whatever. And all you need to do is just put those spotter arms there. I think in this specific case with this guy who's doing the squat, it was one of those racks that didn't actually have safeties. It was just one of those that like connects to the wall and then comes out, and is, you know, you just have like the 2 posts. So it wasn't like a full cage, so he couldn't actually use safeties if he wanted to. But, you know, like get more spotters, or just don't do it. Just don't do it. Do it in another gym or whatever, you know? Like
the other thing too, because someone's going to bring this up, that like you don't actually need spotters for squatting, especially like Olympic lifters and stuff. But like Olympic lifters know how to fail a squat.
Yeah.
They know how to bail. They know how to like get out of the way of the bar. They know how to toss it off their back and all that, right? This guy was a bodybuilder from what I know.
Yeah.
And he didn't know how to bail a squat. So
and even if he wanted to bail, he wouldn't have been able to bail because of how the spotter was spotting him. Like that's like a horrible thing to think about, and to think about like the stuff that must be going through the mind of the guy who was spotting him. But like seriously, the guy was spotting him holding the bar like that, and like, you know, he was holding the bar. So like even if he wanted to throw it off him, I don't know, I feel like it was just a combination of circumstances where several things could have could have
I don't think the guy spotting him is like at fault.
No, not trying to say
that.
I mean? Yeah, of course.
It's like, I know you're not, but some people might think that. But I mean, if you're going for like a huge PR max attempt, like you need to pick your spotters carefully. Like if you don't know someone and you don't know how they're going to spot you, then just wait for another day, or set up something that makes it safe that you don't need a spotter. But don't take your chances on stuff like that with like randos. You know, like not saying that guy was a random, but he probably was if he was doing something like that.
Yeah.
It's like he was just doing what he thought was best, you know?
Yeah.
He had no clue.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it just really sucks. Use your safeties, guys. It's so easy, and it's, you know, it's gonna 99.9% of the time is gonna save you from getting injured. So it's sad to see.
Yeah.
So you got any other topics on the agenda, bro? You got anything for us?
Do you want to talk about your plans from where you're at now with lifting, or like what you plan on bulking, cutting, recomping for a little bit?
Yeah, good question. Okay, so I'm currently in not the best of shape. So for the last, I mean, it was about 3 or 4 months ago that I was probably, you know, in my best shape and, you know, still training super hard and everything. Then for about a solid 2 months, I did just absolutely nothing. And when I mean nothing, I mean like really nothing, like just, you know, not even like walked much. So yeah, 2 months of just nothing. And then for about the past month, I've been trying to like ease my way back into it. But obviously still nowhere near, you know, my peak or whatever. So yeah, I mean, I am trying to get back into it as much as possible. My weight is quite like disappointing. because I weigh less and I'm like noticeably fluffier than I should be at this weight, which is just really frustrating. But obviously,
happened to me before too, bro. Like you'll come
to
back.
be expected.
Like, it's like a blip in your full timeline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm doing right now is in like 2 weeks, I've got this. Okay, this is gonna sound very vain, but I've got this pool party. And so I want to look good at that pool party. So I'm doing a little bit of a cut. I know this is stupid, but that's what I'm doing because I want to look good at that pool party. So I'm trying to lose a couple kilos, maybe 2 kilos or something over the next 2 weeks. Training hard as possible. So hopefully with a bit of muscle memory, you know, get back some of those gains. Doing my cardio. I'm eating healthy. I'm getting my protein. So I am all back on track. I'm going to be cutting for the next 2 weeks. And then after that, I guess I got to go back on a bulk. It's all quite disappointing, honestly, because this summer was meant to be like my big summer, you know, where like I was bulking for the entire year previously. And I got up to like all-time high body weight, 86 kilos or something. And I was so looking forward to cut down from there, but it all sort of got derailed with what was going on with me. So yeah, it's a pretty disappointing environment, but pretty much just getting back on that horse and trying to make the best of it from here. Hopefully, you know, within, I mean, definitely before the end of the year, I hope I'm back to peak form.
It'll be fast.
Yeah, hopefully.
Like, remind me as well to mention something about protein intake that I kind of noticed for myself. But I think, honestly, if you do that 2 week cut, have fun at the pool party, all that, then honestly just get back in a surplus for like 2 or 3 months, bro, and you'll gain back everything you had and maybe even more.
Yeah.
And then you can just do a real cut from there if you really want to go do that cut that you wanted to do. But I think cutting from here without bulking again, probably won't be the best idea.
No, yeah, I'm not gonna do like a super long cut or anything.
Yeah.
And I think when I go back on the bulk, I'm gonna do it like seriously. I'm gonna like start tracking my calories on the bulk and try and really do it like sensibly and as slow as possible. Because all the previous bulks I've done, I've never tracked anything. I've maybe started off a little bit reasonably, and then as the bulk goes on, I just like slip and just start eating like a hippo and, you know, getting fat and all that. So I do want to try a serious bulk where I track my calories. So I'll be very interested to see what comes with that. And yeah, I just gotta get my training really consistent. You know, gotta dial in my program. And by the end of the year, I want to be in the absolute best shape of my life, and hopefully not be a fat blob, because I'm gonna, you know, bulk very slowly.
How you're gonna say a fat fuck?
Yeah, bulk very slowly with a small surplus. You know, maybe 100, 200 calories or something like that.
100 sounds like maintaining to me. I'd say 200 to 300.
Yeah,
100 is like, bro, you can like shit that out and like you don't even know.
Okay, yeah, 200 calorie surplus.
True. The protein thing, I'll mention real quick. So last bulk I did, I was weaker on like literally everything at the weight I'm at now. I'm 186.5 right now in the morning. Last bulk I did, weaker on everything, weaker on curls, weaker on tricep extensions, weaker on shoulder press. Weaker on,
compared to what? Compared to the previous bulk?
Compared to like how I'm bulking now, right?
Okay.
I'm like hitting PRs on like, even since I was like 184, I was hitting lifetime PRs on some things. And the only thing I can really attribute it to is my protein is higher this time.
Oh, really?
It could also be like, you know, I've just been training for another year, but it's like, it's ridiculous how much better I feel at this weight compared to last time.
Really?
Like I don't feel fat at all. Like normally when I get to this weight, I'm feeling kind of like chubby already, right?
Yeah.
But I just feel like everything's full, like it feels nice. Like I'm not like depleted ever really. My protein on the last bulk, I think I was eating probably 3,500 calories, same as this one, but I was having maybe 170 to 180 grams at the most.
Yeah.
And then now this bulk, I've had like 210, like average
Oh, wow.
every day.
Yeah.
And it's harder, you know. I have to have like some weird stuff to get the protein in, but like, dude, I feel like it makes a difference. So just something to maybe like experiment with, because I was just a firm believer of, oh, you know, 1 per pound of body weight, but like, I don't know what else it could be. Like, I take the same amount of creatine, I take all the same supplements other than this. My training is pretty similar. It's a little different, but
so you're doing
I
like
mean,
1 per pound of body weight of like the body weight you're gonna be, right?
yeah, I'm not even really thinking of it like that, but that's kind of pretty much what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So like 210 grams of protein, eh? That's a lot. I don't know if I've ever eaten that much protein in a day.
But think about it like this.
But
It's like, you know how people that don't lift don't need as much protein?
Yeah, sure.
So like people that lift need probably 1 gram per pound of body weight, right? But then like, what about elite/advanced people? I feel like if the trend continues, like, wouldn't they need more? You know, I'm not elite on like every lift, but there's a few lifts that I'm pretty much there at least natural people considered. But it's like, why wouldn't I need more protein? So
yeah, that makes sense.
I've been doing that for like 2 months, bro, and I feel it.
Yeah. Hey, that's awesome. You know, you're seeing the results from it, so you know, try things out, and if it works, great. I mean, sounds like you just unlocked some more gains. It's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's awesome, but then I also think, like, what if I had just been doing that for the past like 4 years?
Well,
but I have
but
I can't think
hindsight
of
is
that.
always 20/20.
Definitely, yeah. So
yeah, I think definitely. I probably need to eat a bit more protein as well. I mean, I
don't think you need as much as me, but like maybe go like 185, 190, dude.
Yeah, because even like on the bulk, I was probably eating, I don't know, like 140 to 160 maybe at most. So
bro, I know. Sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
There's a kid at my gym. I call him like my protege, and he watches these, so he might see this. Shout out to him. Not gonna say his name, but he knows who he is. Yep. And he ATG squatted 275, and he's like 14, right? Nice. Crazy stuff. He eats a lot of protein, and when he first told me about it, I was like, bro, he's eating too much protein. But now I'm starting to be a believer that like he was doing it right all along, and it's like maybe it kind of makes sense that he's squatting 275 ATG at 14.
Yeah.
You know, he's eating like 200 grams of protein and he weighs like 155. So, yeah, just a little side note there.
Our friend Herc also is a massive protein eater, right? He eats a shitload of meat.
He's just a massive person.
Yes, true.
Yeah, but
yeah, there's something to that. I think I'm gonna take that under advisement, and I think I'm gonna try to up my protein as well. It's something I have been thinking about. Yeah, for sure. No, I want to get in. I want to get in like really good shape over this next year. I feel like between last year and this year, like not that much has changed for me, and I guess that's just probably like what it's like to be an intermediate lifter. You know, like it's just you got to embrace the fact that things don't come as quickly as they did during the first year, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just feel like I want to put my ass into overdrive and like, you know, dial things in even better and see if I can just, you know, not just be cruising along and like, you know, autopilot or whatever, but actually like get in there and.
Well, that's how you get stuck, bro.
Yeah.
If you start doing that, like I see people that they never bulk, they never cut, they do the same thing in the gym day in, day out, not in a good way.
Yeah.
Never like actively trying to progress.
Yeah.
And that's the people that think like there's like a lot of limits on natural, right?
And
like I'm not saying I'm gonna deadlift 800, but like I'm probably gonna deadlift like 650.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, it's I definitely feel that. Like I 100% feel that I am now in a zone where if I'm just like half-assing it or whatever, I'm gonna go absolutely nowhere. you know. And if you're a beginner, you can half-ass it and still get some results
and still get gains.
Yeah, for me, like I'm either going to go backwards or, you know, in the best case, go absolutely nowhere. I know that for a fact. So at this point, yeah, I need to really
regress like that one guy.
yeah,
who I won't name,
who shall not be named, who did not show up to defend his honor when he was called out.
And he was so confident that, like, okay, like, all right, I hate the whole like hard natty limit thing where people try to say like, oh, after this many years you're done making gains, because that's just fucking bullshit, right? But he also was saying like you can get 22-inch arms naturally lean. I'm like, bro, there's some things that just like physically, if you start out weighing 120, that is impossible for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, unless you're like 8 foot tall, right?
Yeah, like if you start out, you're like 15 years old and you already have 19s. Yeah, maybe you can get 22s, but you got like 11s, 12s.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I mean the guy is naturally goals, like quite skinny, right? So yeah.
Yes. And I'm not trying to be mean about it, but like you just have to have realistic goals. You have to have short-term goals to push to. Once you get to that one, then you make a new one. Don't be like, oh, I want to deadlift 1,000 pounds and your max is like 405. Like that's
Make the first goal 15-inch arms and then move to 16 rather than going straight to 22.
And then like with deadlifts, you know, 455, 495 if you're American, you go by those, but you know, or you can just be like the kg people, 180, 200, 220, 240, you know what I mean? Like don't say you want to deadlift 400 kg.
Yeah, so. For sure. Well, you got any other wisdom to drop on us, Aidan? Any other topics? I think we're already at an hour 10 minutes. It's flown by, my friend.
I think that's it for me today.
Yeah, should we call it a day? Just as my camera goes out of focus.
Yeah, I saw that.
Good timing. Okay, well, I guess that's it for the Natty Talk podcast. I do want to check what episode we're on because we started without actually knowing. So let me just check real quick. And we are on the 7th episode of the Natty Talk podcast. Signing off.
Are you going to put that in the beginning?
Yeah, we put that in the beginning. No, but hopefully we can get this going again a bit more consistently. We could get some guests. We should get a guest for the next one.
I forgot that we could do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we need a guest for Natty Talk Podcast, episode 8. You know, you got any ideas, let us know. And yeah, we'll be back soon. Hopefully, in a week or two, we'll be back with episode 8.
For sure.
All right, see you guys.
Later.